So let us continue the November 2023 part 2 video now. So first news here is white hydrogen. So what is this white hydrogen? So the naturally occurring hydrogen that was recently observed in France, they have named it as white hydrogen. It is also called as natural or gold hydrogen, and it is obtained from the geological crust of the earth. So without any hydrolysis, without any burning of coal, without any greening and all, so the hydrogen we are getting directly from the earth, so that they have named it as white hydrogen, and it was discovered in France. Then we have infuse mission. So NASA has launched this infuse mission. So its acronym is Integral Field Ultraviolet Spectroscopy Experiment. So what is its aim? It aims to study the Cygnus Loop A Nova remnant. Means like Cygnus Loop, basically it was a star that was 20 times bigger than our sun. So some 20th year thousand ago it got collapsed due to its own gravity only, and now it is just a remnant. So this infuse mission is studying that. Then we have catalyst for green hydrogen. A new alloy has been made that will act as a catalyst for the green hydrogen. In green hydrogen, basically, what they do is they use means the electrolysis derives its energy from the green sources like solar, wind, and all. So whenever the electrolysis is going now, this process needs to be speeded up. So if this gets speeded up, we will getting more hydrogen. So they have created an catalyst, that is cobalt, magnesium, and tin alloy. All these are combined to form a catalyst that will increase the speed of the reaction of the electrolysis. And this is made by, this is important because one of the organization involved is in Bangalore, that is Center for Nano and Soft Material Science, Bengaluru, and the National Chemical Laboratory, Pune. Then we have environmental DNA. What is this environmental DNA? It is nothing, just a basic concept. Like there are various methods to identify the species diversity, species richness, and all. Na? So this is also one of the methods. So from a random any place, the scientists are going to collect a piece of rock or soil or something and check how many DNA are there in it. So many animals, birds, everything, organisms like ants, all they will have the DNA. Na? So based on that, this is a concept of environmental DNA, that is eDNA. And who is doing it? It is being done by Laboratory of Conservation of Endangered Species LACNOS at CSIR, Center for Cellular Molecular Biology in Hyderabad. Then Chad is in news because it has reported its first dengue outbreak according to the World Health Organization. So where is this location of the Chad? This is in North Central African country. And to know about this dengue fever, it's a viral infection and it mainly spread due to Aedes aegypti. Now also in Bangalore there is alert during this dengue virus also. Then we have deepfakes. So the government has instructed the social media intermediaries to remove the mocked videos or the deepfakes within 24 hours of the complaint. So this is as per the IT rules of 2021, and it is illegal to do deepfakes under the section 66D of the Information Technology Act of 2000. So we know what is deepfakes. No need to explain. Then we have vampire virus. So what is a vampire basically? Vampire basically uh, means it is a kind of we know now, like generally two similar species do not eat each other. So if there is a tiger, it does not eat another tiger's meat. So similarly, but vampires, what they do now, they eat the similar species meat. You might have seen in the movies what are vampires only, na? So in the same line, like if one virus attacks another virus, then we are calling it as a vampire virus. It has been observed recently by the US scientists. So what we have to remember here is like some two terms are there. If they ask what are they related to, just mark the answer vampire virus. These are mini flare and mind flare. No need to know what is it, so just know what is vampire virus, how it works, and these two terms, mini flare and mind flare. Then we have ixchiq. So this is the world's first chikungunya's vaccine, which has been approved by FDA, that is Food and Drug Administration of United States. So chikungunya is actually a viral infection which is also spread by Aedes aegypti, and it has been categorized as an emerging global threat. So main symptoms of this chikungunya is the joint pain and impaired mobility. This is very important. CASGV, see ASGEVY. So this is basically the world's first gene therapy for sickle cell anemia and thalassemia disease. So who has done this? This has been done by Britain, and what they are doing, they are using the CRISPR and the Cas9 technology to mainly cure the diseases of these two, which is that sickle cell anemia and thalassemia. So some basic things about sickle cell anemia is, in sickle cell anemia the shape of the RBC is S shape. It is basically genetic disease, so the shape of the RBC is S shape. So because of this it does not carry that amount of oxygen, so the other organs of the body are inhibited by this, and then the person dies. So this has been first time treated. And another one is the thalassemia, beta thalassemia, and this is also same. This is also genetic disorder, but here the issue is not with respect to shape of the cell, but it is because of the absence of production of normal hemoglobin. So by this therapy they are going to cure both of them. Then we have nitrogen isotope. A new nitrogen isotope 9 has been discovered. So news here is not important, but what is important is isotope. Isotopes are the variant of chemical elements that have the same number of protons but different number of neutrons in an atomic nuclei. You can also say same atomic number but different mass number. Different mass number because as the number of neutrons here are different, so the weight of the nucleus changes. So it's a different mass number. Then we have Medicine Project Collaboration Agreement. WHO and Ministry of Ayush have signed the Traditional and Complementary Medicine Project Collaboration Agreement. It aims to bridge the traditional and complementary medicine systems with the mainstream of national health system. Then we have Tantalam. So this is a metal that has been recently discovered in Satluj River in Punjab by IIT Roopur. So what are its application? Electronics, capacitors, and all in industry it is used. Then what? Now, who is the top producer of tantalum currently? Currently, it is Brazil and Rwanda, and also Democratic Republic of Congo. Um, then we have International Space Station is also in news. So 25 years of International Space Center it has completed, and it is spinning at an altitude of around 420 kilometers from the Earth's surface, and it is basically a collaboration of five nations: NASA, Roscosmos of Russia, and then European Space Agency, then JAXA of Japan, Canadian Space Agency of Canada. So it was constructed in the year 1998, and it was not constructed at one shot only. So like there are multiple attempts on the multiple phases based on the first model is important only for us. We have to know its name, that is Jed Arya or Zarya. You can remember it like Zed Arya or Zarya, anything. So it rotates around 15.5, it orbits around 15.5 orbits around the Earth per day. Then Global Digital Public Infrastructure Repository and Social Impact Fund. So these two were actually announced by India in the G20 meeting. So what is this Global Digital Public Repository? So this is basically it contains it is a repository that will be shared to all the countries. So this mainly contains the information on how to build the a public infrastructure. Like India has some really good public infrastructure, right? That to digital, like Aadhaar, DigiLocker, UPI, and all. So this India wants to other countries also develop this. So it is giving its what you can say something like how it is doing this plans, what are the resources needed, on all these resources that are developed to such digital infrastructure information is in this repository. And if any country wants to implement any of these repository information in the repository in their own country, then they need money. So how will that money come? It will come from the social impact fund. So India has itself initiated by contributing around 25 million USD into the fund. So this was done in G20 meeting. Then we have Kayasanur forest disease, that is KFD. So in two more districts, this KFD in Karnataka has been observed. This is basically a viral hemorrhagic fever, which is transmitted to humans through a bite of infected tick, and it is family belongs to Flaviridae. Then avian influenza is also in news because it has been seen a break in China, commonly called as bird flu, and generally affects the poultry birds. Then some basic things about malaria. It is a blood-borne disease, generally a protozoa, Plasmodium protozoa, bites of infected female Anopheles mosquito. Then we have AstroSat. This is India's first multi-wavelength space telescope, and it has successfully detected a gamma ray burst event. Some basic things about this is like it was launched in 2015 and it is at 650 kilometer from the Earth and has a inclination of 6 degrees to the equator, and it has a life of 5 years. It is mainly designed to observe the universe in different wavelengths like UV rays, optical rays, X-rays, and all. So it has some payloads that are also important. Just we should be able to recognize this belongs to Astrosat. They are UVIT, LAX SPC, then Soft X-ray Telescope, then CZTI, then SSM, that is Scanning Sky Monitor, Cadmium Zinc Telluride Imager, Soft Ray Telescope, Large Area X-ray Proportional Counter, then Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope. Then we have critical and strategic minerals auctions. India to launch the first ever critical and strategic mineral auctions. Basically, critical minerals are a subset of minerals and elements that are considered essential for the economic and the industrial development due to the widespread use in various high-tech and clean energy applications. Some examples of it are lithium, graphite, cobalt, titanium, and rare earth elements. So the amendment confers the power to grant mineral concession of these minerals to central government so that the central government can prioritize the auction of these minerals looking at the requirement of the country. Now we are moving it to defense news. LCH Prachand. What is this? This is an helicopter basically. So who is the its manufacturer? HAL is its manufacturer. Then we have China Chanakya Defense Dialogue. So the first edition of the Chanakya Defend Dialogues 2023 was organized by the Indian Army in partnership with the Center for Land Warfare Studies, that is CLAWS. So what is its motto? Securing India and Indo-Pacific region, collaborating for enduring peace and security. So basically this is about Chanakya Dialogue. Then National Security Strategy. So India has started its process to draft its national security strategy in line of USA and all. So because the countries like USA, UK, Russia, China, and even Pakistan has its national security policy. So we also need a national security policy to have a vision into the future with respect to defense. Now, so India is drafting it now. Then we have Hermes Starliner 900 drones. India is set to acquire additional Israeli-made Hermes Starliner drones. It has an endurance around 30 hours. It can be used for reconnaissance, surveillance, communication relay, and it can carry up to 300 kg of payload and operate at the altitude of 30,000. So basically, what is important here is from which country we are acquiring this. We are acquiring the Hermes Starliner 900 from Israel. Then we have some achievements of the Railway Protection Force that we must know. First, we have Operation Nanne Farishte. So, from the name only, it is very clear. What is Nanne Farishte? Basically, the children who are lost in the railway station, they will be returned. That is Nanne Farishte. Then we have Operation Ahat. Operation Ahat basically is for anti-human trafficking. So in train only, like many people from different states are transported now, like for trafficking, and also if any such suspicious activity is tackled, then that falls under Operation Ahat. Then Jeevan Rakshak. So this is basically for the RPF vigilant and swift action, which had saved many people, like around 200 people were saved because of the because the swift action means these are basically the helpers or the RPF personnel who were on the field when the train was getting means when the train was about to hit the person. They went in and they helped the other person. They pushed them that side or they pulled them. So that is Operation Jeevan Raksha. It is also very clear from the name. Then we have Mary Saheli initiative. So this is basically to empower the women passengers by providing security assurance to the lady passengers, like especially in the general category, like and also in sleeper also. Like there will be some hooligans and all who might irritate the women and all. So for them, we have Mary Saheli initiative. Then we have Operation Upalabdh. So Operation Uplabdhi is basically cracking down on touts. Cracking touts basically means the people who are not authorized to sell the items in train. They come into the train and they start selling. Na? So those are touts. So Operation Upalabdhi is against them. Then we have Operation Narcos, very much clear from its name. So combating against drugs that are being transported in train. Then we have swift response to passengers concerned. Like if we tweet something, we will get the help for the train. That one. Then we have Operation Yatri Suraksha of protecting passengers. Then we have Operation Sanrakshana. Operation Sanrakshana is to protect the railway services only. Like recently, also there were some incidents in Maharashtra na, where people were throwing stones on the railway that was moving. So, to avoid such circumstances, this Operation Sanrakshana is there. So, Yatri Suraksha is for protecting the passengers, and Operation Sanrakshana is for protecting the railway services itself. And then we have Operation Seva, like if any special need is there, the railway will be happy to do that, so assisting those in need. Then we have Operation Satark, curbing illegal good transport. Means from name only, this also is very clear. Operation Satark basically means to be satark or chaukan rahan always. Then some basic things about RPF. It operates under the Ministry of Railways. That was also very obvious. Then we have Striker Infantry Combat Vehicle. So India and USA are discussing co-development and co-production of this Striker infantry combat vehicle. It is an 8 armored fighting vehicle that serves variety of roles. So this is the image. Basically, this India and USA want to co-develop. Then Iglayas. So this is a Russia's handheld anti-aircraft missile system. So like basically they will rocket, it look like kind of a rocket launcher which they hold on their shoulders and they shoot at the anti-aircrafts. Like from ground only they are going to shoot the aircraft. So that is and this is from Russia. This is a man portable. This has a range of around 6 kilometer and the maximum engagement altitude of 3.5 kilometer. But basically much more suited for helicopters, drones and all such things. Then we have Nirbhaya cruise missile, India's first indigenously produced cruise missile. It's a long-range subsonic cruise missile, and DRDO has developed it, and it has a payload capacity of around 200 to 300 kilogram of nuclear head. Then we have Kauro Doma 360. Kauro Doma basically means we can decipher from this. Cover dome, cover dome means some kind of head. So this is for world's first rifle rated ballistic helmet which is developed in Kanpur, and this offers protection in the all five zones of the head against the threats from AK-47, M193 rifles, etc. Then we have naval anti-ship missile short range. So Indian Navy testifies the indigenously developed anti-ship missile, and it has been developed by DRDO and it is launched from the attack helicopters. It is going to replace the Sea Eagle mission, and this also does sea skimming. Means like if the ship is very far, we can drop this missile here only from helicopter, then this only automatically moves like a torpedo and attack it. Then we have Telangana's geoglyph circle. So geoglyph is a form of circle that is said to be 3000 years old and has been unearthed on the outskirts in Telangana. So, what is geoglyphs? Basically, it's a form of rock art where the design or motifs are etched on the stones using stones, irons, and some other tools of the prehistoric humans that used to do. Then iron was, and in this case, which is discovered in Telangana, this was basically done by iron, and the process is called as pecking. And so as it is done from iron, so we can easily identify that this art was basically done by the people of Iron Age. Then we have Portuguese coins. Recently a farmer from North Goa has discovered some Portuguese era coins that were buried in the soil. So some basic things about coins we should know. Portuguese gold coins are called as cruzado or manol. Then its silver coins are called as esper. Then uh, Then what is the Saint Thomas as a patron saint for India, and of two mints were opened at the Basain and Daman for issuing copper coins, buzrakos. So basically, gold is cruzado or manola, manol, or then silver is esper, then copper is buzrukos, and Saint Thomas was their patron saint in India. Then we have Janjatiya Gaurav Divas was celebrated. So the date is chosen as the birth anniversary of the Birsa Munda, who mainly was from the Chota Nagpur plateau. His timeline is from 1875 to 1900, and he was a religious leader who started the religious movement called as Birsat, which aimed at establishing the Munda supremacy of the Mundawad Birsan. He is also referred as Ulgulan. Birsa Munda led the rebellion and known as Ulgulan against the British colonial rule and exploitation of tribal communities by the landlords and the missionaries. The movement aimed to attain to establish Munda Raj and protect the rights of the tribal people. So, the state of Jharkhand also celebrates its creation on November 15, that is on the day of birthday of Birsa Munda. Then we have some international news. Tripura, Bangladesh railway link. So Agartala Akora railway link has been recently inaugurated. Its total length is around 12 kilometer, 5.4 kilometer on the Indian side. So what is it starts from Akhora actually, and Nischantpur is the place where the checking will all be done, and the first station in the Bangladesh side will be Ganga Sagar. Then what other trains which were earlier running from India and Bangladesh? They were Bandhan Express, Maitri Express, and Maithili Express. UK's AI Safety Week was held here. It was held at the Blackskes Park in the Buckinghamshire near London. So the theme was a shared understanding of opportunities and risk posed by frontier AI. Here, here, like basically, this declaration is very important. The Bletchley Declaration. So this aims to establish global coordination and standards around the AI safety. And UK has also invested in new super AI computer, that is Isambard AI and Dawn. Then we have treaty for the conventional armed forces in Europe. Russia has withdrawn from the treaty of conventional armed forces in the Europe recently. It was actually aimed to enhance the stability and security in the Europe by establishing equal limits on the key categories of the conventional military equipment among the member states. It was actually signed in the year 1990 in Paris, and it was recently withdrawn. Then we have the fifth 2 plus 2 dialogue was held, and additionally on this lines also quad meeting was also held. Like India actually does the 2 plus 2 meeting with four nations, like quad, and other one is Russia, and we are also doing now with Brazil also actually. Then uh, 2 plus 2 dialogue, this was with respect to USA, so we must know the fundamental pacts that are between the India and USA. They are Limoa Logistic Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, which was signed in the year 2016, then COMCASA, that is Communication Compatibility and Security Agreement, and then in 2020 Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement, BICA, in 2020. Then we have Indo-Pacific Framework for Prosperity. So this was recently signed to strengthen the supply chain and ensure adherence to the labor rules. So it is an economic initiative to build cooperation and economic integration in the Indo-Pacific region. Then generally it is launched by USA in 2022, and the invitation is open for all the countries. India has signed this, but it does not participate in all the pillars. US China climate deal. USA and China have announced an agreement to sharply increase the clean energy, displace fossil fuels, and reduce the emissions that are warming the planet. Then we have WOHA Regional Commission for Asia and the Pacific. So, what is it is related to? So, basically, WOHA is an intergovernmental organization which was founded in the year 1924. It aims at coordinating and supporting and promoting the animal disease control, and this is not a part of UN. So India is hosting its 33rd conference at New Delhi. So this becomes important, and generally think remember it like WOHA is related to animal disease and it was held in Delhi recently. Then we have second voice of the Global South Summit. So it has concluded recently. So the global south basically refers to the countries that are often described as the developing or less developed, generally lie in the southern hemisphere. So the Voice of Global South is an initiative by India, Prime Minister Modi's vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas or Sabka Prayas. So this is the theme of Modi and which he totally overall calls it as Vasudeva Kutumbakam. It acts as a stage for developing countries, many of which are united by the history of colonialism. And the second summit of this was hosted virtually, and the theme was Together for Everyone's Growth and Everyone's Trust and Global South Together for One Future. The Global Center for Excellence for the Global South countries is called as Dakshin, which was inaugurated and it will be in India only. Then we have International Sugar Organization. India has become the chair of this International Sugar Organization in the year 2024. So, international organization that serves as a global body for sugar industry, which was founded in the year 1968 at the London. It acts as a forum for the member countries to discuss and address the issues related to sugar in the market. Then some miscellaneous news. City of Literature. Kozhikode has been named as the first city of literature, and Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh is named as city of music after Chennai and Varanasi. The declaration is a part of the wider Creative Cities network, which was launched in the year 2004. The network was born out of the UNESCO's Global Alliance for Cultural Diversity initiative, which was created in 2022. So, why Kozhikode? Mainly because of the literary greats like Viacom, Pottekad, and it is also called as the city of Zamorin's. Then we have uh, Food Safety and Standard Authority of India has released the State Food Safety Index. So the first edition was actually in the year 2018-19, and it's aimed to create a competitive and positive change in the food safety ecosystem in the country. So who are the leaders in this? It is Maharashtra. Then what are the parameters they calculate? Compliance, consumer empowerment, human resource and institutional data, food testing infrastructure, uh, improvement in the ranking, and training and capacity building. So the major marks or the weightage is for the compliance. Then we have some information about road accidents in India, which there was a report released by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. So what is the major killer in on the road? Overspeeding, around 72%. Most accident occur on straight roads. Okay. Then hit from back collisions are also very common. Most accident occurred on a clear day, and two-wheelers accounted for the highest number of accidents in India, and still people are having craze for bike. Highest fatality rate is in Sikkim and the lowest is in Ladakh, Daman and Diu. Tamil Nadu has the highest number of accidents and they have also opened the night circuit. See. Then we have Composite Water Management Index report. This is basically released by Niti Aayog, and the first edition was in 2018. It ranked the states in terms of efficacy of around 28 parameters. Then we have FIDE Grand Swiss Open. This is associated with chess. So India takes the top spot at the FIDE Grand Swiss Open, and PM congratulates Vidit Gujarati and Vaishali for their outstanding victories. Where was it held? It was held in Isle of Man, and the first Grand Swiss was held in Isle of Man only in 2019. As this is a new kind of event, so it is important to remember this who has won this. It is won by, remember, like Gujarati and Vaishali has won this one. Then QS World University Ranking of Asia list was released, and IIT Bombay stood the 40th position, and into 148 University of India have found their name. First one is, of course, it will China. No, 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 no. 148 university from India have featured in this list, QS and surpassing China's number. Okay. Then global TB report, of course, WHO. Like what is its target? World's target is 2030. Our target is 2020, 27, I guess. And we have to know about Nikshay Poshan Abhiyan and National TB Elimination Program. Hmm. Then laughing gas has been banned in Britain. So what was its chemical formula? N2O. It's a colorless, odorless gas, and it was mainly used in the mild anesthetics and analgesics, and because it has some euphoric effects. Then climate services reports is by World Meteorological Organization. Then the health sector is inadequately prepared to safeguard the people from the effects of the heat and other extreme heat events. Means basically this report tells how much prepared the country is with respect to climate services. Means if suddenly climate changes or anything happens, so how prepared they are. So it is the WMO, World Meteorological Organization. And WMO is a specialized agency of the UN that is promoting the international cooperation in meteorology, climatology, hydrology. It was established in the year 1950 and is headquarters at Geneva, Switzerland. Then we have some people have been placed in Hall of Fame of the ICC. New members that are introduced in ICC Hall of Fame are Diana Iduji, becomes the who is a former captain, becomes the first Indian women cricketer to be inducted along with Virendra Sehwag and Arvinda De Silva, who is from Sri Lanka. And some basic things about ICC Hall of Fame. It was actually established in the year 2009, and to be into this list, actually they have to be at least 5 years retired, and it will be also selected based on the voting system. Then we have India Asian Development Bank. So India Asian Development has had signed a 400 million loan pact to create a urban infrastructure. This news is not important, but what is important is the Asian Development Bank. It was established in the year 1966, headquarters at Manila, Philippines, and the primary mission is to reduce the poverty and sustainable infrastructure. Then we have GI tag for sea buckthorn. So it is found above the tree line in Himalayan region, generally in dry areas such as cold desert of Ladakh, Spiti, and it's so only it is called as wonder plant or Ladakh gold or gold blush or gold mine of cold desert. Then we have Davis Cup. So Italy has won the Davis Cup, international team of men's tennis organization. This cup it began in the year 1990, and this is called as the World Cup of tennis. And who has won this? It is won by Italy. Then we have mains might here. Okay, one news is important. Question here about Kambala. So what is Kambala? It's a traditional buffalo race. Where it is followed, it is actually in Dakshin Kannada and Udupi districts. In what time of the year is it conducted? November till March, and it is dedicated to Lord Kadri Manjunatha, celebrating to please the god for the good harvest. What are the different categories of the Kambala? Means what are the components? There is Negila Hagga and Adda Halage and Kanne Halage. And like Srinivas Gowda is a name that we should remember for the Kambala. He is a Kambala jockey and jockey, and he is also referred as India's Usain Bolt. Now we arrive at news in shorts. So I'll just read it out. Just try to remember. A a life-size statue of Sachin Tendulkar was unveiled at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Recently, at mm, Pentagon announced the latest test of Minuteman III, which is an intercontinental ballistic missile with a nuclear capability. Then Mera Yuva Bharat platform was launched, which is an autonomous body which will help set focus of the government on the youth-led development and make the youth the active drivers of the development. Recently, Imperial College, just a minute, yeah, it's working. So, and recently, Imperial College of London announced its biggest ever scholarship program for Indian students and called it as a Future Leaders Scholarship Program. NASA's Lucy spacecraft successfully completed its first flyby of an asteroid named Dinkish, and it is by NASA only. India is set to deploy its own long-range air defense system by 2080, 2028 and 2029. The indigenous long-range surface-to-air missile system is being called as is under Project Kusha, so which will have intersection capabilities similar to S-400. Colors India is heading India's GEC today in its collaboration with the Ministry of Women and Child Development for promotion of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao initiative to address the issue of girl child by creating a fictional show, and its name is Dore. Then Department of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare in collaboration with the Wadhwan Institute for Artificial Intelligence has developed the first AI for Doordarshan, that is called as Krishi 24 by 7, the first AI powered solution for automated agriculture news. Then Chief Minister of Karnataka launched the Infosys Springboard Master Lab on the Wheels project to provide rural, social and college access to STEM. A team of researchers have discovered an inscription belonging to the 12th century and 13th century apart from sculptures in the Ragi Muddenahalli in the Pandavapura taluk of Mandya district. A release said the inscriptions and many sculptures belong to the Hoysala period. Then we have India has voted in the favor of United Nations resolution condemning the Israel's settlement expansion in the Palestinian territory. BBMP will now charge rupees 30 for collecting the garbage. The Indian Navy quiz Think THIQ held for the school children conceding in the Navy Week areas in the Navy Week activities. The Association of Tennis Professional is a worldwide top tennis tour for men organized by the Association of Tennis Professionals, and Novak wins this year as a world's number one, recording this for eighth time, extending eighth time. Then we have Israel recently confirmed that it has used a sophisticated Arrow 3 missile interceptor against the Irani Houthi rebels. Then Nai Soch Nai Kayan. It's a radio jockey journey with Smriti in Irani to air on the Akashvani, celebrating the incredible tales of empowerment of women with the aid of initiatives of the government. This show is hosted by her only, and it will be on Wednesday, every Wednesday at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Akashvani Gold. Then we have Tri Shakti Prahar, is a joint military exercise involving the Indian Army, Indian Navy, and Indian Air Force. It began in the Rajasthan, Jaisalmer. Then we have Parichay. Parichay is a heritage walk initiated by the Bengaluru chapter on the Indian National Trust for Art and Culture Heritage intact on the 15th year. Then we have Sagar Kavacha brings together an amalgamation of the forces including the Indian Navy, Coastal Police, State Police Force, Intelligence Bureau and Customs. A mini shallow water craft project being built by the Indian Navy was launched. National Code Index, we have studied this one. Then we have Namma Cargo is a logistics services of KSRTC to enhance the non-ticket revenue. GKVK released a new red jackfruit variety named Halasu GKVK Kempu. Constantine Joseph was an Italian Jesuit missionary and a Tamil scholar. Russian rocket forces loaded an intercontinental ballistic missile which was named as Avangard. It is a hypersonic glide vehicle into Silo of the southern Russian region. Means it was taken to the southern part of the Russia and its name is Avangard. So the Cambridge Dictionary has named hallucinate as the word of the year. A team of researchers have recently identified an extensive galaxy named as Cosmic Wine. Then we have Global Talent Competitiveness Index has seen India's sharply down, means there is a fall, which is developed by the INSEED, and the index measures how countries and cities grow and attract retail talent. SpaceX next generation spacecraft Starship developed to carry astronauts to the moon. The China Rail Rolling Stock, that is China's railway board, something like that, He has rolled out the prototype for Namma Metro, that is for the yellow line actually, and it will be operational for Feb 2024. The Federal Bureau of Investigation recently issued a warning to organization about hacking group called as Scattered Spiders. So we have to know what are Scattered Spiders. Basically, it is a hackers group. Veera Hosahalli Wildlife Range of Nagarhole is under the surveillance of Garuda drones. So Garuda drones are generally used for wildlife protection. A joint exercise of Special Forces of India and US commenced in the Meghalaya's Umro cantonment titled Vajra Prahar. So Vajra Prahar is between India and US. Then AIM, Niti Aayog today has launched a new accelerator called as RISE, Rapid Innovation Startup Expansion to support Australia and Indian circular economy startups. So this is for the both Australian and Indian startups. Then comedian Veer Das has won an international Emmy Award for the Netflix show Veer Das Landing, and producer filmmaker of Balaji Telefilms Ekta Kapoor has also won for her Best Director. CGST Delhi's commissionerate has successfully dismantled a complex network of 48 interconnected fraudulent firms that were illicitly claiming input tax of around 199 crores in a meticulous manner, and they have named this mission as Operation Clean Sweep. So then we have BMTC has issued the first set of non-AC electrical buses from Tata Motors. Then this is under the FAMES 2 scheme. Agni initiative to promote innovation by Ayurveda practitioners launched by the Ministry of Ayush, and that stands for Ayurveda Jnana Nipunya Initiative. Agni Initiative. So the world's largest iceberg A23 has broken from Antarctica. Then scientists have recently detected the most powerful cosmic ray seen in more than 3 decades, which was named as um, Amata Seru, something like that. This is the most powerful cosmic ray that was seen recently. Amethasu, the ninth National Pollution Response Exercise, that is NAT PolarX, was conducted by the Indian Coast Guard in Gujarat. Yoga and Ayurveda in Neuroscience, Therapeutics and Research Approaches, that is Yantra 2023, was held in Bangalore's Nimans. Floating CNG refueling station for boats was inaugurated in Ravidas Ghat of Varanasi. Then Personal to Public via Cycle is a campaign that aims to show people the bicycles parking facility in the Namma metro stations and encourage the people to embrace them. And this is by the Council for Active Mobility. ESCR portal was the initiative by Supreme Court to provide the digital version of the Apex Court judgment. Then we have Himachal Pradesh former Chief Justice L. Narayan Swamy has been appointed as the chairperson of the Karnataka's Human Rights Commission. Instagram and Facebook's parent Meta has entered into 2-year partnership with the Karnataka government for digital education. Then we have Ministry of Road and Highway Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari virtually inaugurated Classical Imperial, a luxury cruise from Kochi. Iran has its unveiled its new hypersonic missile that is named as Fatah 2. Mika becomes the world's first AI human-like robot CEO. She is a robot of a company called Dictator, which is a Polish-run company. Then we have 54th edition of International Film Festival. It was held in Goa. Samudrayana mission. We have studied this mission of Earth Science manned mission. 3 oceanauts by Indian Institute of Ocean Technology, and Matsya 6000 is a vehicle which is going down by 6 kilometers. Then we have a book in news. Courting India, England, Mughal India, and the Origins of Empire is a book by Nandini Das, which has won the British Academy Book Prize. The 33rd Conference of WOHA was held in New Delhi. 2023 Booker Prize is for Paul Lynch for the novel Prophet Song. triumphing over the London-based Indian origin author Chetan Maro's work Western Lane. Uttar Pradesh government has implemented a ban on halal certified products. Then we have Rwanda asylum plan is between is between UK and Rwanda to send the illegal migrants to Rwanda in exchange of some money. Saudi Arabia is going to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup. One nation, one registration platform is basically for the medical professionals. So the National Medical Commission is set to launch this registration. Doctors will be allotted the unique identification number, and it will allow the public to know information about the doctors. Israel Hamas war, the Rafah border crossing was in news. It is a crossing between the Gaza Strip and the Egypt. Then we have also two crossing that are important here as the Wadi Gaza and Erze crossing. Then we have World Food India 2023 where it was held New Delhi. Then Indian Mobile Congress was also inaugurated in New Delhi. Then India flags of the international cruiser that is Serena from the coast of Kerala. Then Indian women hockey team wins the gold at the Asian Championship by beating Japan 4-0, and the final was held in Ranchi. So what was, I think, mascot? Juhi was its mascot. R. Vaishali has won the 5 Women Grand Swiss Award along with some Gujarati girl is there. Bihar Assembly has passed a unanimous amendment to increase the reservation quota in state government jobs from 55 to 65%. Then Moga was the mascot for the Goa National Games, which was held in Goa, and Maharashtra has secured the first position. Then India International Trade Fair was held in New Delhi, and the theme is Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Sheetal Mahajan has become the first woman to skydive from Mount Everest. Then PBTG mission was launched on the Janjatiya Gaurav Divas, which mainly is an umbrella program. Indira Gandhi Peace Prize for 2022 for COVID-19 warriors is given to the Indian Medical Association and Trained Nurse Association in India. Miss Universe is Nicaragua's Shanice Palkios. Shani, just remember like Nicaragua's she, Shani. SHE is the first word. Nicaragua's she. Some cyclones that we must remember: Mocha, Biparjoy, Tej, Hamoon, Midil, and Michong. Australia had won the World Cup of 2023. Leading run scorer that time was Virat Kohli. Mohammad Shami was the highest wicket taker. Then we have Silkyara Barkot Tunnel in Uttarakhand, where the 41 workers evacuated in Uttarakhand after 17 days. And this was mainly done by an Hyderabad based company called as Navayuga Engineering Company. Silkyara Barakot Tunnel. Pankaj Advani wins the Billiards Championship 2023 in Doha. Then, world's first single site solar powered plant is in Abu Dhabi. Justice Fatima Bibi, first female judge of Supreme Court, passes away. PM Modi participates in Sant Mirabai Janmotsava at Mathura. Mirabai Mathura, MM. Draupadi Murmu unveiled the statue of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar in Supreme Court on the 73rd Constitution Day. Christopher Luxon is the New Zealand's Prime Minister. Balli Jatra is Asia's largest open-air annual trade fair on the bank of the Mahanadi in Cuttack, and it is in Odisha. Khelo India Para Games. So Ujjwal is the mascot, and it is a sparrow, and it will be held in New Delhi. 11th edition of the International Tourism Month will be held in Shillong, Meghalaya. Bharat Atta is an affordable wheat atta which is placed at 27.50 per kg. Nepal has become the first South Asian nation to register the same-sex marriages. Indonesia's Angkor volcano has erupted. Afghanistan closes its embassy in India permanently. ASEAN India Millet Festival kickstarts in Jakarta. IIT Madras had set up its first international campus on Zanzibar Island in Tanzania. Mamata Banerjee has named Saurav Ganguly as the brand ambassador of Bengal. Exercise Mitra Shakti is between India and Sri Lanka. Austro Hind, very clear itself. Surya Kiran, India and Nepal. Uttarakhand is set to make history by becoming the first state in India to implement the Uniform Civil Code. Vision India 2047 is in Niti Aayog. Uh, First lavender farm comes up in Jammu and Kashmir. 14th emission gap report is by UNEP. Operation Shesh is Union Finance Minister has launched this to curb the illegal trade in timber, including red sanders. And scientists have discovered a new species of musical frog in Arunachal Pradesh, and its name is Noha Dihang music frog. So I think that's it. So we have completed the month of November current affairs. Tomorrow we'll finish with the December ones. Thank you.